Now, Dora, I will invite you to speak. Looking at the clock, I know that there will not be any time for questions, I'm afraid, or discussion, unless this is really rapid. But you should take the time you want. You have those minutes. I think people will be hanging around here, and I know that both the two presentations before has triggered a lot of, I can feel the questions or the comments in the room. So we'll have to find another place to vent them. So Dora, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dora Horvath. I'm representing the National Institute of Quality and Organizational Development in Healthcare and Medicines of Hungary. Basically, that is the Hungarian NHS, I would say, but it has a longer name. I was invited to this excellent conference to talk about the EU reflection process on health systems, especially on the work and outcomes of subgroup 2, which dealt with defining success factors for the effective use of structural funds. So as it was mentioned before, the basic document of this EU reflection process is the Council conclusions towards modern, responsive and sustainable health systems, which was adopted during the Hungarian EU presidency in 2011. Its continuation will be the Council conclusions on the reflection process, which will be adopted this December, hopefully by the EPSCO Council during the Lithuanian presidency. In these Council conclusions, which were adopted during the Hungarian EU presidency, the Council emphasized the need to join forces and enter into a more coordinated EU-level cooperation in order to support member states in their efforts to ensure that their health systems meet future challenges. So the Council invited the Member States to initiate this reflection process under the auspices of the Council Working Party on Public Health at senior level. 5 subgroups have been set up, and the subgroup 2 was dealing with the structural funds, and this subgroup was coordinated by Hungary. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm presenting the outcomes. And we had 11 member states from the European Union: Bulgaria, Italy, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Greece, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania, Slovakia, and Slovenia. And of course, DG Sanko supported strongly our work and helped a lot. The context and objectives of this work: the EU cohesion policy and its funds are powerful instruments to help member states invest in sustainable, innovative and reformed health systems. And the member states allocated over 5 billion euro on health infrastructure in the current programming period. So it is a lot of money. And using structural funds for non-direct health investments such as transport, environment, employment, social inclusions, housing can also have very positive impacts on the population health. Though in the work of subgroup 2 we mainly dealt with direct health investments. The structural funds in the new programming period will be strategically oriented to support EU 2020 strategy and its objectives. So we had to work in this context, and we had to take into consideration during our work the new legislative framework, which in a way makes the position of health a bit complicated, at least in the sense that it's not really visible if we take into consideration the 11 thematic objectives which structural funds money should be spent on, because health is not a separate thematic objectives. However, it is in almost all thematic objectives indirectly. I would highlight thematic objectives 9, which is about social inclusion and combating poverty. This thematic objectives covers the potential investments that enhance access to affordable, sustainable and high-quality healthcare services with the view to reducing health inequalities, and basically all kind of health infrastructure investments. In the course of our work, we also took into consideration the Investing in Health document, which was mentioned yesterday in some of the presentations, which is a very important document. And we use it as a reference point, helping us show how investing in health can contribute to the Europe 2020 objective. And this document is very important for health people who works in the health sector, because this document helps us identify links with health issues and structural fund issues and Europe 2020 strategy. During our almost 2 years work in the subgroup, we had very deep discussions on the use of structural funds in the different member states, and based on member state experiences, several constraints have been identified in the use of structural funds. One of the main message, or one of the main finding, was that strategic thinking in many countries has a very low level and very problematic, and the strategy making is often loosely coupled with the problem and mainly focuses on the elaboration of attractive project ideas without evidence base. Another problem that was, or constraint, which was identified, the lack of stability in the health policies on long term. This is also connected to the lack of long-term strategy. Health policy objectives are changing very often, parallel with the frequent change of the health administration. Hungary is a good example, or bad example in this sense, because now we are in the current period, it's a unique case that we have a health minister who is serving during a whole governmental period, because it was also a problem in Hungary that the health administration was changing very often. So in the subgroup 2, the main deliverable was a toolbox, which we wanted to have it as a very practical document. And the content of the toolbox is based on the recommendations of the subgroup and the subgroup members. And this toolbox comprises a range of methodologies and guidelines. So we wanted to make it as practical as possible. We didn't want to work for the drawer. So we really hope that this toolbox, which is now a 40 pages long document, will be useful for all the stakeholders. It was prepared basically for the managing authorities and for policymakers, but I think some of the content is very relevant for others, policymakers, stakeholders, project managers, etc. We believe that it provides access to technical knowledge and systematization of processes leading to skill development. This toolbox is generic in nature, than a special area like e-health or health infrastructure, but we think it's not a problem that is too generic because it is relevant for all the health systems. And we believe that it is easy to translate and apply to local circumstances. On the slide you can see the table of content of the toolbox. We wanted to cover all the important phases of the structural funds process. So there is a separate chapter on strategic planning, financial planning, implementation, and of course we collected some key policy messages, both both related to health policy in general and messages related to the use of structural funds. The toolbox emphasizes those factors, actions, information needs, and capacity development that together contribute to critical success factors that help deliver successful project outcomes. However, I have to say that it was very difficult to to define what we consider a successful investment. You can see one definition on the slide. After long discussions, we decided to take it as the definition of a successful investment. So as I said, we collected key policy messages in the toolbox. These messages are basically in line with the Investing in Health document, what I mentioned just before. And yes, and according and what we take as a good investments, it is basically the same what is proposed in the Investing in Health document and in all the structural funds document published by the European Commission on this issue. So it's very important to study this chapter and this document as well. This toolbox has a separate chapter on the structural funds framework and mechanism. This is also a very useful part of the document, and there is also a lot about strategic planning, which is one of the most important parts of the document, because we believe that this phase is key for an effective investment. As I said, strategic thinking is a weakness in many member states, which we hope will be improved with the new ex-ante conditionalities introduced by the new legislation. There is also some important recommendations on financial planning, as well as on the implementation. And in conclusion, I would say that the main aim of the toolbox is to assist member states in accessing and applying structural funds in a more effective manner. I do hope that you can use this toolbox. It is already available on my institute's website, but maybe it's even better if you contact me directly and I can send you this toolbox document, because right now it's a bit difficult to find on the web page. And another good news, what we have just received from the Council Secretariat, that they will translate this toolbox document to all European languages, so hopefully it will be available to all of us, and I hope you can use it successfully. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dora. We will leave this slide up here. Gone already, anyhow. Contact Dora if you want to know more. I hope you didn't feel too rushed here towards the end. It's perfect timing to end now. I would like to invite you all to join me in thanking the panel for, I think, good input. Discussion will continue. Thank you very much. And now we are supposed to leave, or is this wall going away? Okay, other room for Commissioner Borsch. Thank you.